Hi. One of the things not asked for in the prototype scenario, but we think is key to the use of any system, is actually the use of reports and dashboards. So I just wanted to include a short video on how you might go about creating a report and putting it onto a dashboard. So here we are, we're logged into Salesforce and we want to create a report. I can click on the Reports tab and that takes me to the reporting area. There you can see a couple of buttons at the top, New Report, New Dashboard. It would show we can find reports and folders just using the search bars, but we're going to create one from scratch and it's going to be based around cases. So I click on New Report. I want to build it on cases. I type cases into the search area. It gives me an abbreviated list. I choose case and down the bottom right I can choose create, and that starts me on the journey of creating a report around the case object. Gives me a default starting point. You can see I'm looking at all cases opened over all time, but I don't seem to be able to see any records, and that's by default because the show details is turned off. Let's go and turn that on, and now we're going to see all the different cases that are sitting there. Right, so now we get to choose what columns we want in the report. So first up, I'm going to get rid of some of the columns I don't want. To get rid of a column, I can just click on the column heading and drag it. So I'm holding down age and I drag it across and put it on the left hand side, and that removes it from the report. So let's go and do the same with open and closed. Right, let's reduce those. Actually, want to put the legal name to the left, so I can drag that across and put it to the left of subject. We also want to know the name of the contact. So I can't see it quickly in the list here, so I'm just going to type contact in the quick find. There it is, contact name. I click on it, drag it into the report, and just put it to the left of subject. Right, so I've got that. The other one I want to have is status. So again, let's go and find status. There it is there. And I'm going to put this to the left of legal name. And there, this way you can build up your report and what's there. This is all useful, but in fact what I'd like to see is just open cases. So any ones that aren't closed. So let's clear the search, and you can, if I do a quick look for open, you can see that there's a field called open, and I can drag that into the filter area. So drag it in there. It says I want open equals, clicking on the search icon, I can say I want it true, so show me the cases that are open, click on OK, and now removes the closed cases from the list down below. Alright, so we've put in a filter. Now let's do some grouping on it. So we're looking at tabular format at the moment. Let's change that. Let's change it to summary format. In doing that, it gives me an area to put fields for grouping. So I'm going to drag case owner into there. So I'm going to group it by case owner, and I'm also going to grab by status. So I've grouped by those two fields. Right, now having done that, I think I just might save that because we're halfway through working on it. So I can click on the save button, give it a name, case report, and where I want to save it to, I set up a public folder. So if you put it in the Worksafe reports folder, everybody that's using the prototype can access it. This particular case, I'm just going to leave it in my personal custom reports folder and click save. I'm not going to run it just yet. Alright, now the next thing is I'm going to add a chart to it. So I click on the add chart. I choose what sort of chart format I want. I'm going to click on the vertical bar chart, and I'm going to see whether that's what I want. I could actually add some more complexity to it, maybe put in there the status of it as well and put it in a stack chart. But you can see I've only got one status, which is assigned, so it's really not adding a lot of value. So let's turn that off. Then I can format the chart as appropriate, give it a title, cases, let's call it open cases by owner. And I can do other stuff there and change and maybe enable hover, and if I had a legend I can change where that is. You can play around with that as you see fit. Clicking OK puts that chart now into the actual report, so I have it accessible and have the data down below. So again, let's just save that and run the report. Because when we're in that area, we're working with a sample of the data. When you run the report, it's run against all the data, and you can see the full report that's sitting there available for us to use. And if I wanted to, I could drill down into any of those particular ones. So if I click on this link, it actually takes me through to the case. So let's do that. And there's that case. All right, let's go, just click the back button. The other things you can do with the report are you can actually, at runtime, change how it's summarized. You can change the date range that it's working on, and you can change the basis of what it's working from. So at the moment it's looking at all cases, but maybe you just want to look at the cases you own or other different cases that are out there. You can also hide the details. So doing that, if I click hide details, I come down, it only now shows me the summary information, not the specific cases. I can customize it, takes me back into the editor. I can save it, save changes I've made. I can save it as a copy of it, delete it. I can click on printable view. This actually creates an Excel spreadsheet for me with a printable view of it. So opening it up, I can then print that from Excel, all good. Not a particularly fantastic report to print, or I can export it, and when I export it, I can choose to export it to either Excel or a CSV file. And the last option there is I can subscribe to it. And subscribe is very powerful. You can actually have a report alert you when certain conditions are met, and that alert can be sent via chat or email, and so you can have a report basically as a basis of sending you alerts from within Salesforce. So very powerful, very useful. What I want to do is add that to a dashboard. So let me just click back on the Reports tab to take me back to the Reports home. Now I want to click a new dashboard, and it gives me this dashboard editor to be able to use. There's 3 different columns I can build my dashboard up around. First up, I choose what sort of graphic I want sitting on the dashboard. We had a vertical bar chart, so let me grab that and put that onto the report. Next is I've got to give it some data to work from. So I click on the Data Sources tab. I can go and find my report. So if I look in my custom personal reports, find my report, drag it on, and that's now actually adding that report to the dashboard. Give it a title. What would we call it? Open Cases by Owner. And we can save that even while it's running. Sample dashboard. Again, I can choose where to save it. Again, I will also set up a Worksafe dashboard folder, but I'm just going to leave it in my personal folders. And in this case, I am going to save and run it. And then we've created a report and added it to a dashboard, and you can add all sorts of different reports and graphics to dashboards and really come up with stuff that's very powerful. You can see it's viewing as me. You can change that to be viewed as the logged in person, and there's a lot more you can do in that space. Please enjoy exploring dashboards or reports. Thanks.